Well, good morning. I hope you have had a great day, a great evening, a great morning. You're waking up, ready to take on this beautiful world, appreciating this miracle that we actually woke up today. And I hope that you acknowledge that you're not guaranteed tomorrow. So today, you're just going to have the best day ever. So I got my coffee. I hope you got yours. And without further ado, let's change the world. All right. As a matter of fact, today I wanted to talk about changing the world. I feel that the world needs a little changing. Do you think that we should change the world? Do you think that the world needs change? If so, can we change the world? Do you believe we can, or how do we change the world? Are we happy with the way the world turns? Does this world need change, really? In my opinion, it needs much changing. I see that we have turmoil, we have fear, conflict, and that entails prejudice in this world that should not be there, should not be here. I see wars that need to stop. Many people actually believe that wars are inevitable and that they are actually necessary. I'm sorry for saying this, but in my opinion, that's a crock of, well, you know what I mean. I really do not believe in conflict. I believe in being more in tune with nature, and if we pay a close attention to nature, whenever there is conflict, whether it's in ourselves, within our bodies, or outside in nature, in the outside world of nature rather than inside, conflict is never the answer. If our cells create conflict with each other, what happens? We get sick. That's what cancerous cells do. They went wrong and they created conflict with the good ones. Therefore, we become very sick. Or if it happens in the outside of nature, the cells that create conflict create mass destruction. And that's just not the smartest way to live. Therefore, any conflict, I believe, is negative. And it's just my opinion. So please do not, send me a video response damning me. We see that violence and conflict are an absolute wrong, yet we justify our ways of using them because it is the only way we know. I cannot agree with this. All labels such as government, religion, territories, black, white, purple, green, all those labels are like profanity to me. Who said this is our part of the world and that is your part of the world? This is one world. Harmony is key. Living justly is key. Love is key. Sharing is key. It's key to this whole beauty of life. So why live against all of these? I know I believe so. However, do you believe you can change the world? I do. If you answer no, then may I ask you why? Do you not think you're not smart enough? Maybe you're just not brave enough, I'm sorry to say. Take a look at Moses, Abraham, Jesus, Martin Luther King, Lao Tzu, Gandhi, or maybe even Elvis, Fidel Castro, Bush, Hitler. I can go on forever. So were they smarter, bigger, stronger than you? Most of them didn't even have anything tangible to go on. They never believed that they were going to change the world. However, they went for it. Many of them weren't even too smart. I mean, some of them were actually pretty ignorant. Yet many of us believe we can't change the world. Give yourself a bit of credit, please. I beg of you. So how do we change the world? Do we take a side? Yet another separation? Do we join a group that starts out to help others? We already know that greed will eventually take over it and make any group base themselves on monetary issues and eventually try to be the biggest, wealthier one. Then what? Do we isolate ourselves from everyone else and create even more separation? Separation entails conflict, prejudice, and so on. Do we join a religion, a government party, a movement, an organization? Separation once again. Isolation once again. How do you change the world? How do we change the world? So long as our minds remain in the same train of thought that we have, we will never change the world in a positive manner. Now, this is the master key right here. First, we must change ourselves in order to change the world. We must change our minds, a total revolution of our minds. We acknowledge that we have motivations and actions that we don't even want in our minds. It's been poisoned. Most of us simply live with them as if we have no choice. Our minds have been trained, have been conditioned unconsciously to work this way for thousands of years. No surprise why we just decide to live with it. Bottom line is that we must change. Change is sweet. Then we work on changing the world. How? By changing ourselves. We will learn. We will become aware of what it is that we must do and we must not do. We will not achieve an answer, for an answer is not known. But in the process of trying to achieve an answer, we will learn. And learning is also key. Now, for my opinion on changing the world, once we truly see and we become aware of the negative we used to try to change the world with, then we can change the world by sharing our learning experience with others so they too can change their minds. Then and only then can anything be done to change this world. I don't believe I know, for I would be a fool by saying I know, because I have not reached an answer. I may never reach one. All I can do is share in harmony what I have seen and learned along the way, along my journey. I made a complete revolution of my mind. When I sit and talk with others, they too at times change their minds. This, I believe, is slowly changing the world. For I live among these people, and as they question like I question, they too begin to change the world like a domino effect. This continues on forever. And it starts with me. It starts with my home. It starts with my peers, the people around me. This is my opinion, not an answer per se. If you have a better way, please share it with me. Leave it in the comments under this video. For I see and know this world should not continue the path in which it has taken. When I was younger, I didn't care. I rebelled because inside, deep down inside, I knew this world was all a mess. It was full of chaos. It wasn't supposed to be like this. But my thoughts were to join the circus as everyone else and die. Once I had a son, I realized I must do something to change this world. It's not about me. I can't just ignore it no more. I'm responsible for a whole new life. The world which surrounds me is the start of it all. From here, people move, people travel, and they spread the seeds that I've laid in them, whether it's love or anything other than love. You know what? I'm gonna close this little talk with a verse of my favorite poem ever. This is a poem with 81 verses, and I'm gonna share my favorite verse in this poem. If you're familiar with Tao, Tao is what the Chinese philosophers consider the source of life, the essence of life. It's not a religion or anything like that. So, without further ado, I'm just going to read on. Before I read on, the beauty of this is that this was written 2,500 years ago, and it still relates to this. You know what? I'm gonna pause this just so I can share this verse alone onto a whole new video. All right? Go to part 2 of Changing the World, please.